this is just something John whipped up on the fly, right?
Okay.
Was doing the Bulgarian split squats, and they had that nice bench in the background, which was really cool. And he said, "We're going to just do a drop set, and with the hold."
Yeah,
So
that
the idea
hold.
was, yeah. So, and hopefully someone rolls the next dumbbell over for him because he's not able to get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're just winging this, right? This is the first time this was ever done. So this became then the Bulgarian split squat of death.
So we got a video here. This is Dave Henry getting ready for what year was this? 2005 Olympia. And at the time, did you train with him through this prep?
Yeah, I think Dave and I started training in 2003.
And this is over at MOC Video, guys. I'll put a link in the description after this to set that up so you guys can watch that. Let's see if he's got any.
I would have been putting the plates on there for Dave if we were training together. I might not be in this one.
Currently, I'm active duty military and also IFBB Pro, managing both of them at the same time, which is not easy. So, I am a weapons expediter. Basically, I tell people where and what munitions to load on what aircraft. I no longer do the hands-on. I just
this is in Vegas.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. So he's
road. Yeah, I'm not with him then.
Okay,
he went to Vegas for this.
Okay, so you trained with him through the prep though, up until this point, basically.
Yeah, we were training together for sure. I'm like, why is that? Yeah, that's that Gold's no longer. They changed the gym, and now it's maybe even gone. It's probably.
I think it is. Yeah,
that was a great gym, man.
I never got to go to that one.
Oh yeah, it was awesome.
That was the cool one that Jay.
That was the place to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like maybe right after the show.
Let's see what he has to say here for a minute.
To get to the nationals and then national level, turn pro at 27 in the 2002 nationals in Dallas. From there on, it's been a whirlwind. It's been great.
Well, that didn't help us much. Oh, he's looking ready, man.
Yeah. Dave's always.
Just got.
And this is one of those high inclines. This is a lot of fucking weight.
Yeah.
You always sort of press pretty narrowly. You can see, but he always could hit his chest really well. And his triceps were just. Dave never even trained triceps. To be honest,
you're kidding me.
No, he never really even trained them. They were just naturally strong. I think because he just used them so much, they were sort of like assistance muscles for his. Look at his back all the way down.
Yeah.
They were like assistance for all of his presses. So yeah, he had no more room. We had to do a lot of this.
This is this to me was his best era too. Was around this time and the next like several years from here.
2008 is when he won the 202.
Yeah.
Olympia. Yeah.
So we're 3 years before that, leading into that look.
Yeah. Yeah, he turned in the pro in 2002. I think is what he said there at the Nationals. Mm-hmm. He got second to Stan McQuay the year before at the USA's.
Yeah.
Yeah. He and Stan were kind of like they were the nemesis for one another.
They were. What did you say?
They were the nemesis of one another.
Okay.
So yeah, because I think Dave thought he should have won that year, but Stan had more political clout, so to speak. Which is there's always some of that at work, right? And then Dave won, and then they were, and Stan was competing then as a pro too, so they were always kind of neck and neck with one another. That's
kind of cool.
We were doing DC training at this time, so he's just kind of doing a fart around peak week. At this point, I don't even know. Dave and I would talk a lot. Yeah. We'd go out to eat and talk about. I don't even know how much I was influencing what he was doing in peak week. Oh, there's Quincy Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big dude. Super nice guy too. I've talked with Quincy in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah. He still lives in Vegas. Personal trains people. He's still there.
So was Dave Henry doing DC before this then? Is that what you're saying?
At this time, I think we had switched to DC. So when Dave and I first we met in the gym, and we decided, hey, we could train together. It just made sense. It was like part of it was Dave was so fucking strong, and I was decently strong too.
Yeah.
It was just like it's nice to have a training partner to help move weights around and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So we started training together, and it was within, I want to say within a year for sure. So by this time, we were doing DC training together.
Okay.
And I just because I'd been messing around with it. I think I was messing around with it before Dave and I met, and then I switched and started training with Dave. And so the thing was, Dave's training with a typical high volume thing, and he would leave, a rep or 2 or 3 in the tank, and we're doing 20 sets for legs and that typical high volume stuff, which never really worked for me. But I was very competitive, and so I would try to I'd use the same weights as Dave, not being as strong as Dave. So for him, the 15 rep set would be a 10 rep set for me, but I would basically widowmaker my way to 15 reps or even 16 to try to beat him.
Okay.
Yeah, and I did that, and that eventually I paid the price. I ended up. I would get done with workouts, and my entire body would ache.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
I mean, this for like hours.
Yeah,
like unable to like just totally fucked up.
Yeah.
Every muscle group, the whole thing. It was really kind of bizarre. Totally disabled. So did they pull the stuff off the other side, or does he leave all the plates? I think he left all the plates on the other side. He wasn't even, so he is. You can tell he's in contest prep mode.
Yeah,
this gym was so great, man. See, there's a photo shoot set up over there.
Oh yeah.
This might have been right afterwards. Yeah, everyone was always doing photo shoots in there. There's tons of videos of Jay Cutler training here. There's lots of. You might even see some of these people in the background.
That's where I learned about this gym, was seeing Jay train here.
I have a picture of myself. I have a picture in this gym I could even send you.
Okay, send it to me after the show. I'll drop it in.
Oh, okay. I was thinking you might throw it in.
I'm afraid of your internet failing on us if you try to.
Oh, it's on my phone.
Oh, okay.
It's on my phone. Yeah.
As long as you're not on Wi-Fi.
No.
These are some heavy dumbbells. He just rips them up.
Yeah. Dave was just so strong, man. Let's see.
So it looks like he's going to do some dumbbell press with the 105s. Possibly just a few days out from the Olympia.
Or maybe it's just after?
Yeah, one of the two.
All right.
Either way, the way he picked those up looked like when I pick up the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
You know that feeling, Scott, when you can just it's going to be a good day when you go to pick up your dumbbells and you just like rip them off the rack.
Yeah. See how he's just flipping those up? Oh, I'm not seeing, I know this picture.
Send it to me later then. That way we can still watch the show while it's playing here.
Yeah.
So he's doing flies with the 105s. I thought he was going to go into another press.
Yeah. Dave used to do lunges with 405 on the Smith machine.
You're kidding me.
And he could do, we would do these, he could do these one-arm tricep extensions, which he just could do. He didn't really train for them with, I want to say like the 120s, something like that.
Yeah.
Overhead tricep extensions. They were sort of like cheat extensions, but he could do sets at 6 or 8. It was just absolutely insane.
That's crazy, man.
Another ad. I just remember because this was mentioned somewhere online, and this is the days where this didn't happen all the time. And I remember I filmed Dave doing this because no one believed he could do it.
Yeah.
Right? And it was just like, it was like a parlor trick almost. He's like, see the veins across his chest? Just crazy. We got him in better shape than this even, of course, but...
Is that part of what makes you think that this was post-show?
This is pre or post-show, yeah, one of the two.
Yeah, okay. Well, you said you thought it might be post, and I was wondering if maybe you were thinking, knowing his conditioning, if it looked like maybe it was after things are already over. I was just corresponding with someone about this online. So what I know I did help Dave with, maybe not this time, but Dave sometimes when he was with Muscle Tech, 115,
he was with Muscle Tech for years and years, and there were times when he would do the Olympia, and then he'd have a photo shoot or two on a Sunday, and one time he had a photo shoot Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
Okay.
And because the way I do peak week and the way Dave would do peak week, Dave never used diuretics. I don't think he ever did. I mean, there were a couple years here he's competing, and I wasn't directly involved, but he had no need to use them. But once you get in good enough shape, it doesn't matter. But
yeah,
and Dave would look just the same day in and day out, and we would just set him up on a circadian cycle, basically, where restore his water after the show, get everything back to where it was the day previous to the show, assuming he was on point the day of the show, water-wise, glycogen-wise, by eating up and consuming fluid. And then he would just repeat the cycle, cut his water once he got his weight up, come in, eat the next morning, just do the same thing that you do the 24 hours before your show.
Yeah.
And then after the show or the photo shoot, just restore and repeat. And so Dave could be in awesome shape for 4 days. Because no diuretics involved, so you don't have rebound and all that kind of shit.
You can maintain it. I think I just tore a pec watching him fly those.
Yeah.
That was totally just for the camera, wasn't it?
Yeah. 115s. Yeah, he's just strong.
Yeah.
This has got to be after the show, I think. But we don't know we can't hear what he's saying. But that gym was so good, man. You can see the big signs there to tell you where the different areas of the gym are.
Yeah.
The bright lights in the background. That's where they do this is one of the first times I ever saw. I was either out. They still do the USAs out there, and there was you go out there for the USAs the day after, especially to train, and the gym's just packed. And they'll have like 3 booths set in where the cross cables are, usually where they do that. And I remember there was I don't remember who it was, but he was an athlete, sponsored athlete for. Actually, this is kind of the thing. I can't remember the company, but he's a sponsored athlete for this company, or multiple or he was a sponsor. He was an athlete. We'll put it this way. I'm trying to get this flipped around, and he was sitting there taking photos with canisters with no label on them, just canisters. So like protein powder canisters, nothing on it. Smaller pill bottles. Squirt bottles, all sorts of stuff, but with no labels. And there was like a mound of them of every shape imaginable.
Right.
So those pictures could then be sold to the supplement manufacturers. So you could use Athlete X, and then they would just Photoshop the actual supplement on there. So you can have him holding a bottle, with the supplement that hasn't even been invented yet. The labels have never been printed. But the picture can be used 3 years in the future because there's nothing on there. So they just Photoshopped it in.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. I never thought of that, though.
Oh, yeah, that's how it was done. So you see, it's like, what are all those are the empty canisters. So this guy is just working with the photographer to sell his likeness, basically.
Right.
For whatever company. Right? Doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, man. Yep, that was how it worked, in part.
Huh.
He's looking for new dumbbells, and the dumbbells used to be all over the place. Kind of
organized.
Yeah.
I will shovel down as much as I possibly can. That's some of the little metabolic confusion that I've done to my body over the off season that has allowed me to gain so much weight and such quality muscle. Contest time, I'm between 4,000 and 5,000, and that's consistently through the week. I don't do the weekend binging, nothing like that. I try and slowly drop the weight, maybe a half a pound or so a week, or every other week will come down. I don't get so far out of shape in the off season that I need to drop weight so dramatically. I probably go about 15-20 pounds over my competition weight, and that way I don't have to diet out so much. 7 weeks is max, is good, and that's all I need.
You say he wasn't dieting that long?
7 weeks, yeah.
Oh,
he was always in great shape. Yeah.
Okay.
That was the one thing I just wished, because it's always up to it was always up to Dave. I'd help him however I could, in whatever way. But our off-season work together was always sort of very, very lax. It was dependent on him. Sometimes we were in contact throughout, other times not. but he was always wanted to stay in good shape, and he was never like literally more than probably 5, 6, 7 weeks away from contest condition.
No kidding.
Literally ever, never. Yeah. He's just naturally a really lean guy.
Did he eat junk food and stuff at all in the off season, or did he just keep it super clean, or what?
I've never seen Dave, like barbecue was his thing. He could sit there and, put down pounds and pounds of barbecue, whatever he grilled up on his barbecue. Yeah, he would, so he put down a massive amount of steak or chicken or pork or whatever he grilled up.
Yeah.
But he just liked meat, and it's hard to get a lot of body fat from eating meat by itself. Even if it's fatty meat, you can only eat so much. So
yeah, it's not like the same as if you're eating like real processed carbs and foods like that. Yep,
and that's what he liked, right? That's what he just liked to eat. He ate a lot of meat too.
Yeah,
I think if I'm right, Dave's grandfather is Japanese or of Japanese descent at least. So, and in Japan they eat a lot of meat, or they can. There's some. The ads. So maybe there's some genetics behind, how we could eat so much meat, but man.
I'll diet right after this again, like last time. I started my diet December 26th last year for all 7 shows. 7. 6 was the wild card. 7 was the Mr. O.
And that's where you got 10.
And coming consistent, I don't know how I do it.
You had my favorite, most muscular shot out of all time.
Yeah, that was his. Yeah, it was very hard to beat Dave on that shot.
Yeah.
We're going all out on film.
And this is really pretty light. Dave was really strong on shoulder presses too.
Yeah.
We were typically using the stack plus a 45, sometimes a 45 on each side.
Okay.
On a machine like this, yeah. That was the one thing. Like, only time I ever beat Dave on a single set of presses, any kind of press, was after he came back from umbilical hernia surgery. He had trained for like 8 weeks, and I beat him by like 1 rep on one chest press machine. I'm like, okay, that's never happening again.
Take your win, Scott. Take it.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. Well, I could get him on back stuff, and we were really pretty close on leg stuff. But chest, no way. Not even close.
Cannot be described. I've done it. I've done what my goals. Now it's time to set some new ones. So it's the first time. It definitely won't be the last.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a
What's
great
next?
shot.
Early season next year, or early season, shows. I'm preparing to come in now that I know I'm capable of doing a lot more damage than.
Yeah, he got better than this.
I believe I can top 3
for sure.
Some shows early on, qualify for the
maybe.
O, and just maybe hit a few shows eventually. Here and there, just to I don't know, just for some monetary benefit. There's nothing wrong with that. If I'm capable of doing it, I don't see anything wrong with that. And then after that, concentrate on the O. Supportive, very supportive. The best people out there, they know who they are. Consistently coming up to me all the time and let me know, what they like, what they don't like, what they like to see, and what they don't like. I take all those comments and compliments and use them to my benefit. You use what you can, discard the rest, and it's definitely helped. It definitely fired me up.
Yeah, that's cool, man. It's cool to go back and look at this too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I missed that gym. I mean, that gym's great. That was the place for I don't know how many years. Always went and trained there whenever I was in Vegas.
Yeah.
The USA's, the Olympia.
I missed
trained
it.
at that gym 25, 30 times.
I never got a chance to train there, man. It's when we had Jay on the other week, I was talking about that with them, saying like that's where I learned about it. That gym was watching Jay, and I knew I was like, oh, that's the hardcore one. That's the hardcore powerhouse that I want to go to. Never got to go though. It
had a really. It didn't have that feel when you walked in there that that's like, okay, I'm the outsider. I'm going to have to prove myself, and everyone's kind of, they didn't have that at all about it. It was just kind of open, had an open and good feel about it. Because having the high ceilings, and I think the windows all around too, you could see it was pretty bright in there.
Yeah.
Well lit. I liked that gym. It was a really nice gym. Great equipment. You could see the dumbbells went at least to 150. Yeah, it was a good gym, man. I hate it when gyms like that go down. It's like I wish someone would have stepped in.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other good gyms in Vegas now too, but
that's what I was going to say. It's changed since then. They got they went into the LVAC or whatever. Yeah, LV Athletic Club, and then now they've got the Dragon's Lair is like the place,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which I want to go to eventually.
I got something else for us here. So we've got another video here. This is you training with John. This is I think this is you. This is the Bulgarian split squats video.
John doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see if this is the one. Is this the one, Scott?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's check this out. And I've seen still pictures of you from. I think it was a still picture from this video because I've seen that little Shrek guy over there.
I put him there.
He
was lying around there. Yeah, he was lying around there. I'm like, we need to get some Shrek motivation. So I wrapped he had a little Velcro on his hands, and I just wrapped him around there to motivate us. So that's how he got there.
And this is over on the Mountain Dog site. Which version of Elite FTS was this?
This is the first compound. This is the. I've not been to the newer one that they've had now for many years. So this was, man, this had to have been. Does it have a year there? I can't see.
They didn't say the year. I don't think.
On the video, it doesn't say.
Oh, 10 years ago.
10 years ago, yeah. I was about to say it's got to be
when it was published. So
yeah.
All right, let's see what we got going here. Tell us, what are we watching?
So this was John and I trained legs, and I think Tate was just sort of guiding us through this, and John was doing what he did. This was probably incorporated in one of his programs. I don't know which one. Chris from Mountain Dog Diet would know.
Yeah.
Was Edmonds, or Andrew Barry might even know too, or a lot of the guys who were the Mountain Dog aficionados, would do this. So would know what program this is in. But this is just something John whipped up on the fly, right?
Okay.
Was doing the Bulgarian split squats, and they had that nice bench in the background, which was really cool. And he said, we're going to just do a drop set, and with the hold.
Yeah,
so
that hold.
So, and hopefully someone rolls the next dumbbell over for him because he's not able to get to it.
Yeah.
Because we're just winging this, right? This is the first time this was ever done. So this became then the Bulgarian split squat of death. Oh, no one helped him.
It gave him a chance to take a break for a second.
Yeah. I think 10 reps or so. 2, 3, 4.
6 more.
Yeah, he's looking for a set of 10.
2, come on. 3, come on.
And these are just brutal.
Oh,
he couldn't get any more. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one tests your will pretty good. This became like a challenge thing that just I got tagged on again and again and again. He gets up to finish the set. No, it's his body weight. Oh, he's going for 10. That's right. He finished. So it's a 5-stage drop set each leg with the hold as part of it. Oh, he just finished the set with body weight. Okay, so 4-step.
Good job.
Whew.
And I think the way we did it was John did a leg, I did a leg, John did the other leg, I did the other leg.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like doing that with unilateral exercises like a bar or a dumbbell row.
Yeah.
That way you can kind of catch your breath while the other guy is doing a set, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I do split squats at home sometimes with my Iron Master and my top squat attachment, and I just go left, right, left, right, left, right, go back and forth that way. And then it makes for a 5-minute set.
Yeah.
But then you're done, right? So those are brutal.
What was your favorite body part to train with John?
Trying to think, we trained everything together.
Yeah.
But they were all different. John and I didn't get to train we weren't training partners, right? So they were all fun. I think probably legs, just because, because because John threw in like the challenge set. We had a challenge set. I think if I'm recalling the chest, shoulder training. I take that back. There was one day we trained twice in one day.
Okay.
So we trained, we did a Fortitude Training based video. We went and had pancakes. This is when I was visiting John years ago during the Arnold Classic. And we did like 3 Q&As during breakfast.
Yeah.
Then we went back to his place. I slept on his couch. He went up, took a nap on his bed. And then Fuad called, and a bunch of guys were in town. A bunch of Canadian guys had driven down. So we went and trained back with them later after that.
No kidding.
It was awesome, yeah. Trained back with Fuad, and Antoine was there.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good time. And then we went and had sushi, and then we went and had frozen yogurt afterwards. I think I found some sorbet at the place.
Nice.
That was like a perfect day. If like there was, if I could have Groundhog Day in heaven, that would be it.
Oh man.
So yeah, probably back or legs. And I like there's the other video that was from another day with John where Dave was actually training with us, where we trained back and we did some partial deadlifts, kind of rack deads. And John posted, he called it PhD versus meathead.
Oh, you sent me the link to that one when I asked you for it. Let me see if I can pull that one up.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't think I sent the link, but if you just Google that, it comes right up.
Okay.
It's the obvious, yeah. It comes right up. So I don't remember what we did that day. We did a bunch of back shit, and then we did the challenge. And John's low back was bothering him. He always had low back issues that would kind of creep in now and again.
Okay.
And so he didn't. So Dave just said, we're doing rack deads. So set up the pads up, right?
Yeah.
And we're just going to do as many as we can. And I remember like we were both getting pumped up for this because it came down to Dave and me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to think what we said. Like Dave was sitting there thinking about it, and I think I went first. Dave said something. I don't remember who said, but it was something like Dave said, like I'm gonna go until I die, and I said I'll see you in hell. one of those things, or maybe the other way around. I can't remember. We had this like really kind of cool because we're both like this is gonna be fucking awesome.
That's straight out of an action movie.
John's it was. John's yelling at me. So Dave just is like he just said okay, but he threw some plates on there. It's like, and he just kind of picked a height. And then he started we need some chains. So we just started adding chain after chain after chain after chain.
Oof. I would have thought you'd be done there.
I'm going to try another one. John, I tried. I think John says, okay, that's enough.
Come on. There you go. That's good.
That's good.
Dave's turn now.
Yeah. Dave just did some smelling salts, I think, too.
Okay.
He used a lot of smelling salts from what I recall. Just watching his videos. So this was after Dave already had replaced one hip, I think.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yeah, I mean, not that it makes after 6 months it doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm like, I don't know how long I am now, maybe 6 months after my hip replacements, and I can't really tell, except for the nerve damage that the doc caused me. But
so this is at the end of already, I'm sure, brutal workout.
This was at the end of a brutal workout, and it was just one challenge set. And Dave said, I'm going to figure this out. And he just put the weight on there. Just get as many as you can. Basically a widowmaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave almost fell forward. That's why I was running over there, because I thought he's going to fucking nose plant.
Yeah.
But he didn't.
That's amazing, man. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, John's got they got a challenge set with Antoine, where Antoine was Antoine like picked up the 150s and does like a set of 29 reps on a flat press with him, something like that. Got a bunch of, the challenge sets were a blast, because it's just like, okay, we've done all this stuff, we've picked all the exercise, used the features of the brutality of Mountain Dog that are in the book, right? And then the last set is like, okay, we're just gonna go to town. Just let loose. Just let it all out, man. And that was just so much fun to try, because it's like maybe you go too heavy. Like, I don't know how many reps Dave got there, less than 10. I got maybe a few more than 10. It wasn't like this was a 40 rep set,
Right.
but Dave just felt like just going heavy that day. So he just kept on piling the weight on. He wanted to make it tough. I'm trying to think at that time, like I'm not nearly as strong now as I was then. At that time, I could pull with a rack dead below the knee, 6, I was pulling over, I think I could do 675
Okay.
for like 6 reps, something like that. I have no idea what that was with all those chains, but
Yeah.
so I've been doing rack deads at that time. So I was, I could probably pull 495 for 25 reps, from a rack dead at that time. So that was a lot of weight. Whatever that was a shitload of weight.
Yeah.
Of course, overloaded at the end, but so John was just like, now it's just time, sometimes it'd be a lighter weight, sometimes it'd be a heavier weight. You just kind of just keep going. And that was just fun getting in there, like let the meathead out and just like go to town. And and that's kind of the fun part of training. It's like, I've done all the stuff I need to do, and this is just because I just want to just go to town. I just like just diving into the pain, the pleasure, and the mix thereof, and just letting loose.
Hey, we all train for different reasons, man, but I feel like, to me, being able to do stuff like that those are the things that I'll never forget, like those are I can see the look on your face watching these again. Those are some of the best memories of training, is when you're just really pushing as hard as you can, and you're with other people that are right there with you, willing and wanting to do that exact same thing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, John was there. You could hear John behind both of us. John was so good at encouraging people, and just, because he'd done it, right? Either he'd done it right before you did it, or he'd done it in a previous workout. There were like one time we trained. It wasn't that workout. John and I talked about this a good time. Sometimes it's like his workouts varied much more than, for instance, Fortitude Training would, right?
Yeah.
But you could do this with Fortitude Training too. It wouldn't fit. You could actually with like muscle rounds or pump sets, but sometimes John would do a workout. It's like, that was just awesome. That workout was so badass. I'm just going to do the same thing again.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's nice to have some variety, and you want to mix things up. It's like, that was just such a good workout. I just want to do it. And I've done that. Now, of course, I do whatever I want. I don't have I'm not trying to get back on stage again or whatever. It's like, this happened in the last few weeks. Like, I've done, like there's a workout I've been doing for legs that wouldn't be like the optimal workout for making progress or whatever, but I've just been having fun with it, and I like it. What I do is a Bulgarian split squat for a triple rest pause, left, right, left, right, left, right, or vice versa. And then I go right over to I have a knee extension hamstring curl in my gym that's set up at an angle, and I can use the same weight for a unilateral knee extension roughly that I would for a hamstring curl. It's not exactly rep for rep the same.
Okay.
And then I get done with the triple rest pause.
Yeah. And
then I walk right over to that, and I do left leg knee extension, right leg knee extension, flip over, hamstring curl, and do a triple rest pause, left to right on the knee extension to hamstring curl. I'm like, that was a fucking barn burner. Like, that was, I don't know, it took me probably 12 minutes to get through all of that, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Just, and I'm like, I like this work. I think I did it 3 times in a row.
Did you really?
At least. Yeah, because it was just like, and I'm like, time-wise, this is good too. Like, it was not easy. And so John would do that sometimes. It's like, I like this. That's how the Bulgarian split squat of death became such a popular thing. He's like, I think John may have programmed it in more than one program.
Yeah.
But it got out there, and it's like, this is just so crazy hard and stupid, right? That people like doing it. And there was like, I don't know, I probably was tagged on 15 to 20 videos on Facebook, mainly at the time, because that was 10 years ago, right? So Instagram wasn't even around, but of people doing those, and they just loved them, because it's just like, people don't do that stuff in the gym. You don't see anybody doing that, right?
Yeah, it's just such a challenge, and
total challenge. Yeah,
I think that talking about this stuff, and maybe we'll bring it back. You know what I mean? I think that sometimes people are maybe a little scared to go all in. We just had Turner Riddle on, and Turner talked about like just 100 rep sets. How could he make it harder? No thought of like overtraining when he was younger, just eat more gear and just do everything you possibly can in the gym. Yeah. Yeah. And I think there's something to be said for being able to make progress to a degree, you know, you got to have that. I don't ever want us as a community bodybuilders. I don't ever want us to lose that. We can't do that every day, every workout, but we can't lose that.
When you're young too, when you're in your 20s, I mean, if you're using gear, like you're sort of somewhat superhuman. You can get away with all sorts of shit, but you can't.
Yeah.
And in my latter conversation with John before he passed, you know, we always consider it a successful training day if we didn't injure ourselves.
Right. Yeah.
I hurt myself. And I've got an article on Elite FDS that actually Dave kind of asked me to write, called "Rust Proofing the Iron Warrior."
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and it's still a cool. It's a good article, I think, and it's about picking and choosing like those crazy battles.
Yeah.
You can't do that every set. Like you just can't go bonkers like that. But you can. There are ways that you can make things harder, but you have to pick and choose when you do that as you get older. When you're younger, you can just go to town. And the thing is you'll eventually. I mean, I wasted years and years and years trying to do way too much. You know, I trained with high volume for probably close to a decade and didn't really get. I mean, I made some progress, but it wasn't my thing. You know, of course, I started training when I was 11. Right, so this is, you know, I figured it out by the time I was through college.
Right.
I did. Oh, I can talk about this. I only have a few minutes, but you guys didn't talk too much about the Cybergenics. I saw you did a reaction video to the Cybergenics program and the video. Did you ever see the program?
Oh, we mentioned it, and
Yeah.
it was kind of, I think, a continuing conversation from talking about it before. But yeah, it was incredibly crazy and long, wasn't it?
The training program? Hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, we had somebody who commented saying, like, a couple people commented. One guy was like, "Hey, I looked at this training. I saved up my paper route money, and I bought Cybergenics. And after reading it, I knew like, oh, I could never do this." And then another guy who said something like, it took him 3 hours to get through a workout.
I did the 8-week thing 3 times when I was younger.
Yeah.
It's 3 hours a day. It takes 3 hours to get through the workout. And you train. It's a Ronnie Coleman split. 3-way split, training everything twice a week.
Whew.
Here, this is way too much. We made through this. I mean, this was formative for me because it kind of made everything relatively easy to some degree. But here's how you train legs, and don't. This is pretty dangerous, to be honest. A lot of people would. I'm surprised we didn't just all blow. I did it alone once, and I did it with a buddy of mine. Gary Harpole was my training partner when I was younger. Crazy SOB, one of my best friends growing up. Here's how you train legs. Pick a weight. I think they just called it heavy or something like that. So something like 5 to 8 reps, right?
Okay.
You train to positive failure. This is a free bar squat, and then you train the negative failure until you can't control the negative.
Oh wow!
So you basically drop down to the safety bars. This is where I learned how safety bars can really. People don't use safety bars when they're squatting because they're not training the failure. Well, in this case, you did. Then you'd strip down again so that the next set would be 5 to 8. So I would get under the bar, and he'd help me from the chest, or sometimes we pick it back up. Failure, positive failure, negative failure. Drop it down again. Positive failure, negative failure. Step out from under the bar. Do jumps. Squatting all the way down, jumping until you can no longer get airborne. You can't jump anymore. And then you do body weight squats until you can no longer stand up under your own volition. And then you grab hold to a post like the squat rack and pull yourself up until you can no longer lower yourself under control. You can't stand up anymore. And then you lie on the ground and contract your hamstrings and quads as hard as you can for 30 seconds.
Oh, God.
1 set. You do that 5 times.
You're kidding me.
I'm not kidding you.
That was the Cybergenics workout.
That was the first part. That was the squats. Then you went to quad extensions and you did a quadruple drop set.
Yeah.
No. So you had, I think, a double drop set, 4 sets of that, I think.
Okay.
Or 3, and then you did I think it was a triple drop set for hamstrings, and then you did, I think, 5 quadruple drop sets for calves. And then you trained abs that day. I remember we were doing like leg lifts on the ground. So your partner, when you lift up and your partner would throw you back down, you come back up and your partner would throw you back down. And then when you couldn't get your legs up, they would help you up so you'd have to lower yourself.
Yeah.
So like great for your tailbone.
Yeah.
Hey, one sec. And yeah, that took 3 hours. the first 3 days, basically you ate like nothing, like low carb, like 1,000 calories a day.
Okay.
So you train that way. Like it was 11 triple drop sets for back, for instance.
Yeah.
This was the next day, like five on a rowing movement and 6 on a pull down, or vice versa. And so you came back around on the 4th day, and you had to repeat that leg workout after having consumed like 3,000 calories over the previous 3 days total.
Yeah.
And you trained fasted, speaking of. And I would remember, I was that summer that I did that with Gary, I was working outside. I was doing manual labor, working at the clinics where my dad was a physician. So they had me mowing lawns and pulling the weeds out of between the cracks in the parking lot, and like sitting on the blacktop in my jeans pulling weeds out, with my hands.
Right.
They give me tools for this shit. So I was doing kind of semi-slave labor. Wasn't that bad, first world problems. But I remember I would have lunch, and like I would just go sit in my car and I'd pass out for half an hour.
Oh yeah. You probably like had some sort of undiagnosed rhabdo from that workout, and now you're just continuing to push on through life and do a physical job on top of it.
But I survived it and did it, and I got in really good shape. I mean, I lost weight, but I was like, nothing in the gym was hard after that. Everything was just easy. Afterwards, they said go back to normal set. Just don't take your sets to failure anymore. It was very, very obscure. They didn't really say especially what you're supposed to do. And I remember I go back in there and like I train and leave a couple reps in reserve. The term didn't exist at the time. It's like, what was that? I'm not even breathing hard. Like that was nothing. I could do a set of squats, which normally be a hard set. And it's like, that's it. Like I'm not going to go to failure and then negative failure and then drop set it and do that again. And like, I'm not going to go on for like the next 8 minutes.
Right.
I'm not going to spend the next hour squatting continuously. This is nothing. Everything was so easy. So this is when you're young like that, to some degree, you've got the capability to do things that you're completely unaware of. And I think people lose out on that, and they condition themselves psychologically to have limitations that don't necessarily exist if they're paying too much attention to trying to train with reps in reserve and what have you, because unless you've pushed your boundaries, and I've said this time and time again, you don't know really where they are entirely.
Absolutely.
Don't be just absolutely. That was. I mean, I'm surprised that there weren't lawsuits back in the day. People didn't sue like they are now, but probably because no one did that program.
Oh,
like, no one would do that. Like I would imagine probably only 25% or less of the people who actually bought it. I know lots of people actually bought it and they thought, oh, the magic is in the drugs, in the supplements. There was nothing in those supplements.
Yeah.
It was whatever they said, but there was no D-ball or anything in there.
Right, which you got to save a lot of money and just gone straight to that.
I guess, but we were in phenomenal shape. I mean, I'd love to have. We didn't even take pictures. Like back then, there was no one to take pictures for. I have no pictures of that at all. I did it 3 times. I never took a single picture of myself.
Of course,
right?
Yeah.
It didn't matter. Like I don't care. Like this isn't for taking pictures. It's like, so what, right? So anyway, but that was the thing about Cybergenics that you didn't see in those videos, because that would have been anti-advertising.
Oh yeah,
you show hard. People like I'm not. What are you talking? I'm not buying this.
I don't even know how you would.
Psychos.
I don't know how you would walk out of the gym after that workout. Like literally, so first positive failure, then negative failure on squats, and then jump squats till you can't leave the ground.
Triple drop set of that.
Oh, triple drop set. Excuse me. Yeah, that's a big point right there. Triple drop of that. So does that mean that? Let's say you've got your top weight on the bar. You go to positive and negative failure with that, then you drop it?
Yeah.
Then you go to positive and negative failure. Then you drop it. Positive, negative failure. Then jump squats till you can't leave the ground. Then body weight squats. And then you laid on the ground and
till you can't stand up anymore. And then you help yourself up with
that's right.
Till you can't you can't stand up. Till you start to lower yourself and you're just collapsing. And then you would lie on the ground and do a max effort contraction in your hams and your quads.
Huh.
So
I don't know how you'd walk out of the gym after that. Literally.
I know I wasn't able to train as hard then as I can now.
Oh yeah.
But that definitely contributed to it.
Yeah. Yeah. You learned a valuable lesson. Hard.
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, it's still like, and I'm stronger now than I was then for sure. So, I mean, I don't know what kind of weights I was using, but I mean, it was maybe like 265 or 270, who knows what it was, right? For the first set, maybe. Because I did this when I was in college. Did it a couple summers when I was in college. And I was just insane. Like, I can't imagine doing that now. I'd have to really work up to that because just the soreness. Like, but you just went in and did it. I have more stories about that when I was a kid. Like kids like in third world countries and places where they don't have modern, we are capable of being so hardy. We're just completely unaware of it. I'm not trying to be some hardcore badass, whatever, but we have the ability to really overcome amazing physical obstacles. When you think about people who do ultra marathons and Ironman triathlons and all sorts of these amazing human feats, there's some biodiversity there. Not all of us can do those things as well as others, but the capability, like that was just basically sort of a psychological, almost a muscle endurance thing. It's like, because I don't know if I got any stronger during that program.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine it. But you reprogrammed your brain.
Yeah, big time.
All right, let's wrap this thing up, guys. We appreciate everybody tuning in. And you can go to byobbcoach.com. You can reach out to find Scott's book there. You can also go to Amazon to get the hardcover, and we've got a link to get even a discount off that hardcover book, so I'll be sure to put that below. And, of course, TrueNutrition.com. Use our code THINK over there, especially if you're doing the Cybergenics plan. You're going to need a lot of extra protein, so get that from True Nutrition. Use our code THINK. And thank you to everybody from Patreon. Guys, everybody in the live stream, thanks for hanging with us for another episode of Muscle Minds with Scott Stevenson. We'll see you soon. Thanks a lot, Scott.
Peace.